of a young adult, and what is your role? We spend our time teaching and guiding our young children, but as they become young adults, our role needs to shift. It's a broad range what is considered young adult. So it can be 15 to 16 years old into the 20s or even early 30s. It's a broad range, so use your discretion. I hope some of these tips will help you. The first tip I have for you when you're being the parent of a young adult is to allow your child to experience failure and to let them have natural consequences. Now, of course, we're hoping that it's nothing catastrophic or life-changing in a negative way. But sometimes our children will share with us, or we have an idea that they're going to do something that we may not agree with. Sometimes we can give our advice, and then we need to let them go through it. We need to let them experience that natural consequence and that failure. When they experience a natural consequence, I believe it will save them later on from having a monumental disaster. That's our hopes anyway. We learn to make good decisions by making some bad decisions, and they will grow in confidence and learn how to reason things out after they've made some poor decisions. Remember, what we're trying to do is equip our children so that we can work ourselves out of a job. Another tip that I think is extremely important when you have a young adult child is to continue to stay engaged with your child. Keep the communication and connection open. Stay a part of their life as much as they will let you, as much as is healthy. I was surprised how much a young adult still needs us as a parent. Sometimes it's not so much for advice. Sometimes they need to just talk something out and come up with their own decision by hearing themselves. But what we want to do is remain close to them. Each child will react differently. Some children will want to talk to you on the phone. Some will do well with texting back and forth. There are all different ways that you can engage with them and be a part of their life. If they invite you to do something, to go on a walk, to go out to lunch, then go if you can. Try to remain available. It's really great to hear what's going on in their head. And if they don't invite you, you invite them. Continue to let them know that you want to be a part of their life. Do as much as you can to love them well. Be relevant in their life so that when they do have a tough time or difficult decision or suffer consequences, you can be a soft shoulder for them to cry on, or they can call you, usually late in the night, to talk. Don't forget, love your children well, remain engaged, even as they are young adults. Now, sometimes we will feel that they reject us. Try not to take it personal. They are finding their own way, and it is confusing and difficult. So try not to take it personal. Remain engaged as best you know how. Also, don't compare your children. They're all very individual, and they will bloom differently. I remember this analogy I heard many years ago, and I've always remembered it. If you had freezing water and you told all of your children don't go in the water because it's freezing cold. They will all react differently. You will have one child that will listen to your advice and say, Mom and Dad said it's freezing cold, and they decide not to go in it. The next child comes along and dips their toe just in the water and says, whoa, the water's freezing cold. I'm not going in there. Then you'll have a child that will come along and say, my parents said the water's freezing cold. They'll look at you and dive right in head first. Whoa, they say, the water's freezing cold. But our children are individual and they will all learn differently. It's wise to remember that. When our child becomes completely self-sufficient, we have no say in their decisions. We have no say in what they should do unless they ask us for advice. However, if you are financially supporting your child in one way or another, I believe you do have say in some of the decisions that go on. You need to work that out between you. One idea might be if you were paying for your child's college, you may require them to maintain a B average or something like that. You need to work out the details between you and they need to be reasonable. If, however, you find that you overstep your boundaries, which is easy to do because we're all learning how to parent a young adult, just say you're sorry. They will forgive you readily. I've had to say that to my children many times. Learning to stand on your own 2 feet can be difficult, but there's a really cool shift that takes place as your child becomes an adult. They begin to learn to make decisions that they themselves can be proud of, instead of making decisions for us. Also, there's a very precious payoff that often takes place for a parent. Your child will begin to want you as a friend. They will begin to allow you into their inner circle and to ask your advice. That's the biggest payoff of all for a parent. Hang in there, don't give up. It can be a difficult and confusing time. But remember, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.